Yesterday I was talking to a doctor from Delhi and he says we are witnessing 20% jump over pulmonary cases. Each person, including small children, nearly have an effect on their lungs of smoking 50 cigarettes a day. Delhi culture is always one-upmanship. Can I burst more crackers than you? Can I have more dirt in front of my house next morning? When Ram entered Ayodhya, the whole city was lit up by lamps.
Okay.
It's a festival of lights.
Hello and welcome. I'm Srinivasan. This is Talking Sense with Srini. A night of fireworks on Diwali has left Delhiites gasping for breath, with air quality index reaching hazardous levels. The national capital was no less a gas chamber. To discuss if there is a viable solution to this decade-long suffering is our editor-in-chief, Mr. S. Srinivasan, who also happens to be a resident of Delhi. He stays in Mayur Vihar, but who spends a lot of time here in Chennai. I'm sure he must be fortunate about this.
Yeah,
isn't
sure.
it?
I've been under pressure from my, my own family to shift to Chennai, saying that, it's unlivable. And I do agree. It actually reduces your lifespan considerably if you're living constantly in a polluted environment. But I think the first of all, we should try to know what is it, why Delhi has such a special problem. Air pollution is not unique to Delhi alone. It's a problem with all over India. We face in many places because what are the causes of pollution? Vehicular emission, construction materials, dust, and there are a whole lot of other things, the waste disposal especially, so there's a whole lot of factors which is common to all of India, but why Delhi especially, and why every year during this winter period? That's pretty interesting. It's largely meteorological. Now what happens is that cold winds blow from cold or slightly warm winds blow from Thar Desert and other areas towards Delhi, and then it goes through western UP and passes on further. So that's a complete route which it takes. And what happens is these, when the winter starts settling in gradually, then the pollutants which are gathering there, they don't get dispersed because of the wind movements. And wind almost come to a standstill. It all hangs, and with the cold, the temperature further dropping, it gets a kind of a locked in. So it's like, Delhiites in the neighborhood NCR region, imagine as if they are in a box. They're all getting, under that cover of a blanket of what we now call it smog, which is, smoke and fog, because the fog descends in, and then there is already a mix of various pollutants. It get together and it becomes smog, which is deadly, which causes whole lot of problems. So what are the how to deal with this? There are many layers to that. Other than what I mentioned, normal cause for pollutants, industrial pollution, household, even what you burn. Earlier there used to be chulas, which is basically wood was used for making, to run the kitchen. Those things are now gone now. Many of these reforms have happened. But then you have other layers which are added to that. For instance, what is called parali. Every winter during this time, the crop shifts from, say, paddy to now they're going to do a rabi crop, which is going to be, wheat.
Wheat production, yes.
So when they have to go for that, they have to remove those, the remains of the previous harvest. When that
the stubble
happens,
burning, you mean to say.
Yeah. So instead of cutting those stubbles, they set it on fire because it's much quicker for the farmers. And that's another layer of pollution which adds. So there are multiple things which causes pollution in Delhi. And now Diwali.
Yeah.
And Diwali, why all this coincides with Diwali? And now it has become a kind of almost a competitive festival now, from being a festival of lights, which is considered, should be serene and peaceful If you are celebrating, you don't need to be loud and flashy. But that's what Delhi is. Delhi culture is always one-upmanship. Can I burst more crackers than you? Can I have more dirt in front of my house next morning? I mean, that's the kind of competitive thing also happens. So a whole lot of people mindlessly burn crackers, and that further adds to all this.
That's
now,
right.
all kinds of pollutants are released into the atmosphere. Some of them extremely dangerous. For instance, barium nitrate, sulfur dioxide, nitrogen oxide. I mean, other than methane, other things which naturally comes from other, farms and other
That's right,
things. It becomes such a heavy cocktail of noxious gases that it becomes unlivable. Imagine there's something called PM 2.5, particulate matter 2.5. So if you have to imagine a small sphere with a diameter of 2.5 micrometers or less, and that level of pollutants can actually easily pierce through your lungs and even enter bloodstreams and cells. So it can cause you immense, health problems. And every year, there's, Delhiites go and get admitted in hospitals. Most common is COPD. Yesterday I was talking to a doctor from Delhi and he says we are witnessing 20% jump over pulmonary cases.
Okay.
Every year, and this year he says it's far more higher. So it's a very severe problem which need to be dealt with squarely.
That's right. So, but unsurprisingly, a full-blown political war has erupted in the national capital. The ruling Bharatiya Janata Party has accused citizens of not sticking to the duration when it comes to firing crackers, while the Aam Aadmi Party has said that enough is not being done by the ruling Bharatiya Janata Party. But how much of this spike do you really think is because of individuals versus systemic failures?
Well, I think what else you expect from politicians? They would twist every fact. They won't think scientifically. They won't disperse information, which should reach people in a far more reasoned manner. They always try to find faults and this constant tu meh, pointing fingers. I heard yesterday Delhi minister saying that it's deliberately Kejriwal is forcing farmers to burn parali.
That's Mr.
So he was saying that he's forcing farmers.
Yeah.
I mean, I think these kind of allegations are completely baseless. Like I told you, one of the major causes is actually meteorological. And the other thing is, what is happening is when, this time actually Delhi is lucky. That's because what has happened is the monsoon season is getting delayed. It is getting stretched. So what the monsoon should have ended earlier, but has stretched almost till end of November now. It has gone into October. And there have been heavy floods in Punjab, as you know, this year. And since there's heavy flooding, many farmers are actually still struggling, clearing their fields.
Okay,
so
that's right. You're right.
So they kind of postponed this current crop has gone completely waste, and they have to remove this, clean up, and then start the Rabi crop. So it's going to be quite an effort. So what has happened is the whole thing has shifted, and that has contributed less pollution to Delhi. And it is very rich for Delhi CM to say that, look, pollution levels this year, some points which he was counting less than last year. I think this is hardly any. The other issue is also some experts are pointing out whether the pollution metering was done correctly, because many of the meters on the night of Diwali, 21st October, weren't functioning before 12 midnight to early morning 2 or 3, when that's a major pollutants, that's when it gathered. So probably the number of sensors, where they are deployed, the collection of data is happening. All those are big issues which need to be scientifically discussed.
Yeah. The BJP has attributed the Delhi's pollution to as you said, about the stubble burning in Punjab and Haryana. But however, a report has been released yesterday, I think, by a think tank, and where it shows a 77% reduction in farm fires in Punjab and Haryana this year. Yet Delhi's AQI has still sort of worsened and exacerbated after the cracker burning. So, what other factors do you think are contributing to this pollution?
Yeah, you're right. Actually, the numbers are right that the parali or the stubble burning hasn't happened to the extent. Like I pointed out the reason.
Yeah.
It's likely to be postponed now. Normally, what happens is by January, Delhi gets a better air because it starts raining.
But this seems to be largely more of a cracker-related pollution, correct?
No, first let me explain you why, like I explained to you earlier, why the delay may happen. So this time it appears that it may be far more severe and extended than what it was last year.
Oh.
So wait for that. I mean, it is not as if things are over now. It's not just Diwali. Post-Diwali, now stubble burning, actually when it picks up, Delhi is going to face a lot of problems. It is not over yet. I think Delhi government has started celebrating a bit too early. The experts are to believe that's what they're saying. The second thing which he pointed about crackers. Now, what has happened is on October 15th, the Supreme Court allowed green crackers to be lit. Now, again, green crackers doesn't mean that 100% pollution free. It still causes 70% pollution. There's only a 30% reduction if you use green crackers, and it lowers the decibel levels, to some level. But look at what happened the previous year. 2024, NGT had banned it, absolute ban on any kind of cracker.
That's right.
So for over 10 years, this issue has been going on and various kind of restrictions have been imposed. This year, the Supreme Court has opened up, saying that on an experimental basis, green crackers could be used. Now,
It's sort of
perhaps
a right
what
to
has
life
happened
versus
is,
right to livelihood.
so that's
scenario.
a reason. That's a balancing act which Supreme Court has tried to do. But what has probably happened is the volumes of purchase probably increased. One, you don't know whether actually those crackers
actually
were
green
green
crackers.
crackers, whether they were labeled correctly. And then a window of 2 hours was given, which was completely, 8 to 10 o'clock is what
Yeah.
they're
I don't
supposed
think
to.
you'll be able to hold people accountable for not burning.
No, not at all. I mean, it is very difficult to, kind of implement this decision. So obviously, things have gone
So, what do
back
you
to
suggest?
square one.
So blanket ban on crackers across India.
Well, I think that's what seems we should do. Probably, if you go back into some kind of a history, if you want to, where did the crackers came from? Probably from China. And was the crackers in traditional India was crackers were being burst. This is an import from China, and probably during Mughal period, the Nawabs and others used for fireworks, which later probably the rich Hindus also borrowed from that, and then it has become a practice now. Where did it?
So you're giving a Mughal twist to a Hindu festival now.
I mean, when Ayodhya, Ram entered Ayodhya,
Yeah.
the whole city was lit up by lamps.
Okay.
It's a festival of lights. It has now become a festival of noise and pollution. I mean, it's a distortion. I think. Where does Hinduism say that I love Diwali. It's one of the great festivals. So everybody loves crackers in their young age. But then there should be certain limit. Anything in excess is really bad, and that's what is happening. We are seeing, and then the population has exploded. Delhi is all so much of population, and then add to that, everybody wants to fire crackers, and they are so expensive. Apparently, some 7,000 crore worth of business happened in a single
And it's largely
day.
unorganized as well.
Yeah, so 7,000 crores of hard money turned into ash in one day. So probably there should be other ways. Probably there could be people are really interested in fireworks. The communities could organize a joint firework. There could be community fireworks. Municipal corporation could organize.
Yeah, that's right.
I mean, people could come and see massive fireworks and go back. And it could be in a limited, controlled manner instead of every street corner, firing a cracker.
Delhi's pollution crisis, and you've stayed in Delhi for a long time, correct? So it's been going on for almost 10 years right now. We've seen multiple initiatives like the anti-smog guns, mist spraying systems and all that. Now even we are also trying to do artificial rains to, sort of curb pollution there. But nothing has changed the situation there. And in contrast, countries like China, for example, the neighboring China, which once battled similar, conditions, worse pollution levels like us, managed to turn things around. So why is India unable to do that?
Well, there are multiple reasons. First, air doesn't stop with any boundary. So, so to have a plan or a scheme only for Delhi is not enough. And this is a much bigger problem, a wider problem. So that's what they call it as an airshed concept, because wherever such air flows, it should be entire North India, not just Delhi. There should be a comprehensive plan for the entire North India. Then they have to divide that into zones, and then they have to see which are the major pollutants, and they have to control those pollutants. You also have to look at the atmospheric changes which are happening, which some of them are not in our control, but some of them you could manage. So it needs to be far more holistic in approach, and a more concentrated approach and targets. And the states all need to get together. I think Uttar Pradesh, Delhi, NCR region, all of them have to get together and Punjab, Haryana, to solve the problem. This pointing fingers that the air came from Punjab is a bad one, and one from Haryana, which is ruled by BJP, is a good one. You can't say things like this. So I think it requires a far more serious approach than what we are seeing. So like this government has taken initiative, Ujjwala scheme, so that cooking gas is, women get, and that was one major reason for pollution earlier. Now it has gone, more or less, more and more people are getting cooking gas. Then there should be they could start crop residue burning, which is what parali and what you've been talking about, stubble burn. Then heavy duty vehicles, maintenance of those. Then particulate matter which is discharged from industries, that should be controlled. Then improved solid waste management, tightening standards for construction industry. Then efficient application of nitrogen fertilizer, and then of course other things like control over construction material, dust, cleaning of roads. So a whole lot of things have to be done comprehensively, and not just in one region or one area. It's not Delhi which is special. It's whole of North is facing this problem. It gets magnified in Delhi because of the reasons I explained to you earlier.
Okay, but I think, but what has happened in Delhi has attracted, global attention because it's the very national capital of India. We talk about the being a developed economy, being the fifth largest economy, but you still see that, people really reeling under that pressure of, sitting inside a gas chamber in the very national capital of India. What do you think? What's your suggestion for Delhiites who are sitting there? Because, you certainly cannot avoid Delhi because of its political significance. A lot of embassies, government workers, high commissions, a lot of them actually be there. They operate out of Delhi. A lot of migrant workers do, earn a living there in Delhi. So you cannot avoid that. So, but what would be your suggestion for them to navigate this kind of conditions,
You see, like I said earlier, they must exert pressure on the governments. It's not just a state government, one state government. All the state governments in that region, central government particularly, should take note of this. And ultimately, when does a politician move? A politician moves when he sees signals from the ground. He knows, a politician is very smart. He knows that if he avoids this any longer, he won't get the vote. Unfortunately, in India, these issues are never, electoral, issues. Have you ever seen anybody winning an election or losing an election just on the basis of pollution or something?
Right,
in the last election, the BJP did made an issue. They said that we are going to clean up, we are going to improve things. They have promised that we'll improve the waterfront, we'll deliver more better results.
The clean up Yamuna and all that.
But I don't think ultimately the voting happened on those. If people are actually voted on those lines, then the Delhi government would be very serious. It will actually move the center to do bigger things on this and ask for a much bigger integrated approach. They won't be doing this thing of pointing fingers at Punjab and saying, the air from there is impure and we are only, say, for 7 months in power. We have to, so even if they have only 7 months in power, I still don't see any comprehensive action which is leading to some kind of a solution. And, you said the importance of Delhi, and we have an international image. Like you said, China was considered very dirty, and they managed to reduce in last 8 or 9 years pollution by nearly 40-42%. Beijing itself has, and other parts of China, maybe 50%.
So multi-pronged strategy.
Yeah, they managed to do that.
Yeah.
And in India, what I heard is every year during these 3 or 4 months, many of the embassies, they send off their people who are either children or
the diplomats.
The vulnerable sections. They all go out. They shift out to other places and then come back when the situation improves. I mean, this is what I've heard. But the thing here is, it's far more. Like I said, it's a common cold. If you go to a doctor per visit, it costs from 500 to 3,000 rupees. So there is a human cost and there is an economic cost. It's not just common cold, asthma, like I said, COPD earlier, then your lungs get affected. If, God forbid, somebody has to do lung transplant, it's terrible. It will cost nearly 2 crores, and not that everybody can do it. The other thing is also, there is no difference now between a smoker and non-smoker in Delhi.
Correct.
Somebody is got lung cancer, 95% possibility is that that person was smoking, and 5% he was a non-smoker. Even non-smoker
now
can
that's
get
completely
lungs.
changed.
Now it is 50-50, which means each person, including small children, nearly have an effect on their lungs of smoking 50 cigarettes a day. That's the kind of punishment which is being imposed on the population there. And, it's not just that, as I said, it's got huge economic loss also. The productivity lowers. I mean, there is a study, apparently, which says that the cognitive ability of learning or learning ability is reduced. For instance, for each unit of pollution, the ability to learn something goes down. So probably the children studying in Delhi are suffering. And like the other thing which I said is the lifespan of people. There are many people who are probably dying. Now, besides, there are also other fallouts, like it can lead to stroke, it can lead to heart attacks, it can lead to various allergies, skin problems, and all those kind of things. Some of these are not correlated yet directly to the pollution, whether the cause is pollution and therefore these are happening. Those studies are still happening. That's what a physician told me yesterday. So the thing here is, it's really very worrying situation, and it's so a lot needs to be done.
Thank you very much, sir. Very insightful talking to you. Thank you.
Thank you.